My name is Carolyn, and I talk to the spirit world. Travel with me to a dimension filled with love, light, and joyful surprises. Welcome to Carolyn's Psychic Playroom. Hi everybody, it's Carolyn Wilkins, and I am thrilled to greet you once again here in the Psychic Playroom. I'm really excited about the program I have on offer today. First of all, I will tell you, as I was coming to the studio today, an amazing full moon. It's a super full moon out there. Today is definitely a day to have your hopes and dreams in mind, your plans, what you hope to accomplish in 2020, first full moon of 2020. Very exciting. So welcome and welcome to my program. I hope that you've had a wonderful new year so far. And my special guest this month is going to be two ladies who are going to talk about an amazing thing called table tipping. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before, but these two ladies are experts. You may have seen movies, right, where you see people with their hands around the table and all this kind of thing in a seance. Well, they actually do it, and they're going to talk about it with me later in the program. So that is coming up as well. I will be offering you my own psychic readings. I have 3 people who have written in advance to receive a psychic reading today. And so I'm going to be helping them out with a couple of little tarot mini readings. If you would like to receive a psychic reading on this program, you can find me on Facebook, Carolyn Wilkins, and you're welcome to message me your question, and I'll put you in the queue for next month's Psychic Playroom. Let's see, what else do I want to tell you about? As you know, because I talked about it a whole lot last month on the program, I have a brand new book out. It's called Death at a Seance. If you like murder mysteries, this book is going to be a ton of fun. Death at a Seance. You can pick it up at Amazon. It's available either on Kindle or in print. So if you're a reader and you like reading a good murder mystery set in the 1920s, there's bootleggers, there's prohibition, there's spiritualists. It's got an African American component, and of course, there's a seance. It's called Death at a Seance. So I hope you'll think about picking up that book soon. Now, moving on to, speaking of seances, the big event for this month's call, I want to share with you the conversation that I had with the two ladies who do the table tipping. So without further ado, here they are. Computer. Hi everybody, Carolyn Wilkins here. I'm thrilled to be sitting with two amazing mediums, and we're going to talk about a subject that is not that commonly known in terms of mediumship. Everybody thinks of mediumship as just bringing through the dead and evidence of survival of the dead, but these two amazing ladies do something far more dramatic, in my opinion, and that is table tipping. And I believe that their group is it called Whispers from Spirit? What did you tell me?
We're actually called the Table Whisperers.
The Table Whisperers. If you look them up on Facebook, you can find them and check out all the information. But for now, I'm just going to let them speak for themselves. The Table Whisperers, Beth Columbo and Marsha Johnson. So, tell me a little bit, because I have never tipped a table. I don't know anything about it. What exactly is it? Is that the table right there?
One of them.
Awesome.
So Carolyn, thank you for having us. So one thing that I'd like to say is similar to how you just described mediumship as a message coming through. It's almost like that, only we have our hands on the table and the message comes through via and our table spins. So sometimes it will tip, but it spins and you say the alphabet, and when it stops on a letter, you know that's the letter. So it's a little more time consuming than when you're getting a message because you're speaking. So we're spelling out the letters of what Spirit's trying to tell us.
Wow. So the table is almost kind of like a Ouija board or something in that sense.
A little bit like, I wouldn't say like a Ouija board, but it is spelling. And so being mediums, you may know what it's going to spell out. Beth can hear wonderfully, and she'll say it's saying this, so you can kind of cut the time short instead of if you have to spell out an entire sentence.
So you're still bringing in your mediumship as well. So
Exactly.
Beth, tell me something. How did you, I know that you're a terrific medium just in stand-up mediumship, and that you are very heavily involved in the Spiritualist Church in Quincy, Mass. But how did you get into this table tipping? Did that come later?
Actually, Marsha and I have been doing table tipping for 7 years now?
Yeah.
And she called me up one night and she said, hey, there's a class on how to facilitate table tipping. Well, neither one of us had ever seen it. We didn't have a clue on what it was. And we went to the class and we fell in love with it. And that's how we got going on table tipping.
Wow. So when you have a session now, are your sessions like a public demonstration, as I think of like a mediumship gallery? Is it like a public event and people come and watch you do it, or is it a private consultation? How does the mechanics of it work?
So it can be both. So some people like to come in and just sit with us, one person, and they'll have an hour or half an hour to themselves, and they can ask anything they want. Or sometimes we'll do a demonstration and people can just come in and usually everybody will get a message. We don't have, a lot of people. I mean, you can, but the less amount of people, because it does take some time to give out messages to everybody. But a one-on-one is really great. And one thing I want to say, we call ourselves, Conversations with Spirit, because if you were sitting here with us and somebody came on, well, you can ask questions to them and they will answer you. That's why I love it so much. You can have a conversation back and forth with, your loved ones, and you can ask all kinds.
Oh, don't tell me. You froze a tiny bit there.
Okay.
You were saying you could ask all kinds of questions. Is that what you said?
Right. So if you were here and your loved one was on the table, you could ask anything you want and you'll get an answer. And, yes or no, or spell it out.
Okay, that is amazing. And how long is the typical session? Is it, because I'm guessing it takes a while, like I'm tempted to just say, oh, could you guys just do something right now? But it would probably take it a while to get going. Is that correct?
Not with us.
Not really. No, it doesn't take a while. But to get out a message, it will take some time because, like I said, you're spelling out,
Of course.
You'll have to do it with this, Carolyn, some nights.
I am telling you, it really does sound fascinating. So tell me this, because I'm sure that although I'm a medium, we're all mediums, we know that this stuff is legit and on the level. I've known you guys a couple of years at least, and I know you're very highly ethical, honest people. But I can just hear the skeptics out there going, oh, I bet they just kind of pick it up somehow with their fingers, or it's on strings, or blah, 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 blah. How do you kind of counter that type of skepticism? What do you have a talk that you give at the beginning of your presentation to kind of cut that out?
We always give a talk at the beginning, but people are always going to say, not always, some people, when Beth and I first did it the first time, this is what we did.
We went like this, and new people all do that too.
Always. They're looking underneath, and sometimes I'm like, are you doing that? She's like, are you doing that? So that's how you feel. But the great thing is you really need to feel it, because once your hands are on top, there's no doubt. You can feel the difference. It's light.
And not only that, but I mean, the messages that come through, you don't have to ask the table questions. It'll give you detailed messages on its own. And some of the details that come through on the table are even better than what we get doing mental mediumship.
Really?
Really. And I'll tell you, people's animals come in on the table too. And the table will actually wag like it's wagging its tail. And I mean, and the table walks and it just does incredible stuff.
Oh,
now we have spirit hands that come on the table. You can actually see hundreds of spirit hands that come on the table. If you saw my Facebook post the other night, we took a picture. We were trying to get the spirit hands. A face appeared on the table.
wow.
Just amazing things are going on with the table now. This has a pointer in the middle. I don't know if you can see it or not. It has a little pointer in the middle.
Yes, I do see that.
It will actually point to the person that the message is meant for. But if it's spinning and it stops, quite often you see a vortex in the middle and it spins. It's crazy, crazy things go on with the tables now. And this is all because we've been doing it for such a long length of time and we've been dedicated to it.
This was what I was going to say. And I would guess that you use the same table all the time, so you build up like some kind of a vibe between you and the table, or can you just do it with just any ordinary table?
Okay. So this is the usual one that we use.
Right.
But we have many tables. We can't have up a table. And you can use any table. We have bigger ones if we want to have larger groups. We can only fit 4 or 5 around this table.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a larger one that we can fit, 8 or 9 around it.
Wow.
So, so it's any table that you can really use, but this is our favorite, I think.
Oh, well, that is spectacular. I have to say, I'm super curious. Does it, now I know that, for example, some kinds of mediumship are best done in the dark or with candles or whatever. How does yours work?
Well, we can do it day or night. So, I mean, there's a ritual that goes on with this before we do any sort of table tipping at all.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter if we do it during the day, during the night, any time of day, we can get the table to do whatever it's supposed to do.
Okay, and you set it up in advance, like with everyone sitting around. Now, do the ordinary people, like it just, if you're not a medium or just a curious person and you come, are you allowed to put your hands on the table?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we want you to do that. You get your energy on there. And, we do a meditation beforehand for everybody. So it's really a beautiful thing. And we just get everything ready. And we do it in this kind of light. I don't really like the dark as much because, I think it lends towards skepticism. People think, what are you doing under there? So we do it in the light.
Wow, that is really spectacular. So now on to just my last question. Do you, because I'm sure there are people who will want to come, and so you are called Conversations with Spirit, right?
Correct.
And you're on Facebook, so if you just go on Facebook and look, and that's Beth and Marsha, you can look for, and I'll type your names underneath there so people can see your names also. Do you also teach people how to do this work? Do you give classes?
Absolutely. In fact, this year we got picked to do Lilydale. We're teaching at Lilydale, and we're also teaching at Camp Chesterfield. this year.
Oh.
But we also do private events. We do demonstrations at different places. And yes, we do teach classes as well.
Oh, that's fabulous. Well, ladies, I can't thank you enough for taking some time to talk about table tipping. I think next time I will have you back and you will actually do it, because that's what the people want to see. I can hear them now. Well, I heard them talk about it. I want to see them do it. But I will say you have events. And if you go to their Facebook page, which is called Conversations with Spirit, you can find out when their next event and, you know, all of that good stuff, and even learn how to tip a table yourself. So thank you so much. And I will talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye for
Thanks
now.
for having us. Bye-bye.
You are welcome. Wasn't that fun? Table tipping. Think about it. So that was Beth Columbo, Marsha Johnson. They're on Facebook. Conversations with Spirit, table tipping. And I think it will be super fun to investigate that. All right. So I'm going to move on now to the next part of our gathering, which has to do with your psychic questions, and I've typed them up 3. I'm going to have to go pretty quickly because I only have 10 minutes left. The first one is from LS, and the question is, will I own my own home while I'm raising my own children so that I can leave it to them when I cross over? I feel you completely on this, LS, because real estate is of value. There's nothing more solid than real estate. I'm going to shuffle the cards and ask, what does LS need to know about her home, and will she be able to own her own home and pass it on to her children? Will she be able to own her own home? I'm spreading out the cards for LS right now, and let's see what comes. Ha! This says commitment. So what it says to me, LS, is if you are truly committed to this dream of owning your home and you're willing to go through the steps, and you know what those are: saving your money, putting aside a little bit every month, really focusing on income, maybe cutting back on some other things that you've been spending money on and putting that money towards the home and locking in, and also mentally making the commitment to be focused on thinking about that home often, looking through the real estate pages, driving around the neighborhood, really setting your mind to that. I'm going to own a home, and I'm committed to it, and I'm willing to do what it takes. If you put forward that kind of commitment, I feel the answer is yes, you will be able to own your own home. You just need to really be committed to it, stay focused on it, keep your eye on the prize. So I hope that that is helpful, LS. And now I'm going to go to my next question, which is from SC. And SC would like to know about a permanent move to another location this year. So the question is, will LSC move to a permanent location next year? And let's see what the cards have to say about that. I'm just going to kind of restack them a little bit and shuffle them a little and see what they have to say. What does SC need to know about a permanent move to a new location this year? Will it happen? If it does happen, is it a good idea? What does SC need to know about a permanent move to a new location? And I'm shuffling the cards I think I'll give them one more little shuffle here. Let's see what we got. Okay, now I'm going to spread them out. What does SC need to know about a permanent move to a new location? And let's see here. All right. Ha! Wishes fulfilled. Wishes fulfilled. This is the card. And in case you can't see it really clearly, it's a table set for a feast with every kind of thing you would ever want. Blue sky, bounteous table. So the answer is, if this is something that you really want, you're going to get it. Your wishes are being fulfilled. So I would encourage you just to continue focusing on the positive, focusing on the certainty that this new move is going to be great and perfect for you, and that if you ask for it, you will get it. So I hope that's helpful. That's a great card. All right. And our next reading is for AC. All right. AC writes a sort of longer question. They were looking for general life advice, and they have many different things coming up. Their life seems to be in a bit of a transitional state at the moment, going from one thing to the next to the next. And because of that, they're not too sure about what their next steps are going to be. They're currently in school, and they wanted to kind of look ahead and see what's going to happen. So it's a long and rather complex question, but I'm going to just ask this part of it right here, since we're just in the mini reading phase. I'm going to ask, what does AC need to know about her next steps regarding after school? The career steps for after school. What does she need to know? What would be helpful for her to know about her next direction? And maybe I'm going to also say, what would be the most important thing? She has many gifts and talents. What is going to be the most important thing that she needs to focus on right now to bring about a happy result for after she graduates? So the most important thing for her to focus on in the next steps coming up after graduation. And I'm spreading out the cards. Let's see, I don't have them all spread out. I want to spread a few more. And here's one. All right, the bird's nest. All right, this to me is an interesting card, because what it shows me is, here's the mother bird feeding her chicks. And I'm interpreting this right now. These little chicks are all your different hopes and dreams and aspirations. And you have many right now. I know that you're going to school. You're also studying some other things. You're interested in spiritual work. What this card is saying to me is that you have the potential to do all of these things. You just need to make a choice about which one you're going to nurture the most right now. Okay, because they're all kind of screaming for your attention. The mother only has one worm there, right? So which little chick are you going to give the worm to right now? And I would say that for you, it's all about focusing on what is going to be the most important thing for you. And to do that, I would recommend you need to go inside and ask your heart, without sort of looking at, what does society want me to do? What does my parents want me to do? What is the expectation? What have I put the most money into? But rather, what does my heart really call me to do? And then put your resources towards that. That to me is the meaning of that card. And meanwhile, the other things are not going to die. The other little chickies are still there going, wah, 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 and the mother will fly off and get more worms. But this worm, which in my mind is the food of your serious attention, needs to be focused on the thing that means the most to you. And I think that maybe just sitting down and doing some journaling to help you find peace with your priorities will really, really be helpful. So, ladies and gentlemen, amazingly, we have come almost to the end of another episode of the Psychic Playroom. I hope that you have enjoyed it. I hope that it's been beneficial and has served you well. I'm Carolyn Wilkins. I hope you'll think about checking out my book, Death at a Seance. I'll be back next month with more fun stuff. Don't forget Conversations with Spirit, Beth Columbo, Marsha Johnson, Learn How to Tip a Table. Enjoy the full moon, and I will talk to you next month.
Thoughts are things with the energy to make life better for you and for me. Touch the light.